Here's another Pete and Kimber with Ben Cousins Quickcast. A quick bit from the show.
Yesterday on the show around this time, we had a Dear Kimber come in from a mum named Michelle. And Michelle was worried because her P-plater children are wanting to get in the car with their P-plater friends. And she doesn't feel comfortable with that because she thinks they haven't had enough driving experience. We talked about how we could manage that. Now, we thought the best thing to do after getting all of your advice would be to go to childhood educator Jen Muir.
Yeah, good morning, Jen. Great to have you on the show, as always.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Jen, this is a really tricky one that we got a lot of feedback from parents yesterday that are doing the same as this parent who is not letting their teenager drive with other P-platers because the accident rate is so high. What are your thoughts around this? How do we manage it?
I don't think there's ever a right or wrong, is what I want to say, because it's going to depend on your kid, the other kid, where are they going, what are they doing, what's your kid like, what's the other kid like. So they're the kind of factors that we look at in terms of whether it's a yes or no. But I think what this mum's really asking about, this mum is like, for me, I just can't live with the idea of letting my kid be a passenger with a P-plater who I don't know how they were taught to drive, and that's a no. The real skill here is that ability to empathise with our kid and to have that connected conversation around the why, that empathy of, mate, I hear you, and it's not that I don't trust you, but my job is still at 17 to keep you safe, and for that reason, I don't want you as a passenger with another P-plater or whatever the decision you come to, but really allowing for that discomfort. And that's probably what she's experiencing. She's got a child really mad and saying, it's like, you don't trust me. This is ridiculous. I just want to go with my mates. It's still our job as our kids get older to, I guess, hold the rope. You know, like they're getting more freedom. But I do think it is important to listen and be flexible. So if where they're going is just two passengers within the law and it's off to the library to study, you know, and it's by day, that's a really different decision to me than do we let them drive home from a party.
There's a massive conversation around this where there's this generalisation about how we as parents manage our fears with our kids, like across the entire spectrum. And look, I have a sneaking suspicion, just getting to know our three kids without naming which one's which, that there's going to be one of them who's going to tell me that they're off to the library with their friend and they're not actually going to go there. They're going to go somewhere else. Do you have any advice for sort of, managing those fears as a parent, without holding the rope too tightly? And then also the other thing is, say you catch them, how do you have that discussion without pouring more fuel on the fire only to then go ahead and fuel them to do more of that stuff?
Yeah, I have one of those kids too. And I think a good example, it's a bit different, but like with screens, and we have a rule, no screens in rooms after 10. And I have caught this kid at 2 a.m. I have, he's snuck a screen into his room and gosh, you want to go, that's it. Phone's in the bin.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
And yet if we can stop and again start with compassion, I can really understand why at 13 that pulling your phone into your room because you couldn't sleep at 2 was really tempting. Screens are super fun and you were bored and you couldn't sleep and you just thought, no. I get it. I would do the same thing. And even as a grown-up, I struggle. So if we can start with really understanding that position of our kid, and even the kid that says, I'm going to the library, and actually they went to the party with the P-plater, we have to start with like, do you know what? I get it. I was 17 once. I did that stuff. I think if we can start with that understanding, then we've got that opportunity, because once our kid goes, oh, you get it. Like I'm not just crazy or bad, but there was something hard about this. But I do say when kids are 17 or 18, they're getting close to being adults. And I think we have to eventually trust, and we have to sort of, there's definitely core sort of rules. I won't let you do that and I won't let you drive home from the party, but eventually we're going to have to sort of say, look, this is what I'm expecting you to do to keep me in the loop.
One of the ways my parents counteracted that is that my mum became the taxi to take us everywhere. Yep. My mum was very happy to have all of my friends in the car because she would rather that they provided somewhere for us to go, we'll take you to the party, we'll bring you back from the party. They made it very clear I could call them at any time and they always honoured that because it stopped me from making choices and getting in cars with people that I shouldn't, or, getting in cars with P-platers who weren't good drivers.
Jen, as always, a pleasure to have you on. For those of you listening to this that want more information, you can get in touch with Jen Muir through Connected Parenting. You can also get more of this chat on the Pete and Kimber podcast on Listener. And thanks again to Michelle, who sent in the Dear Kimber, who got us chatting about this morning. It's really important.
Yeah, it's helped a lot of parents.
Thanks, Jen.
That was a Pete and Kimber with Ben Cousins Quickcast. Want to hear more? Catch the full show podcast on the Listener app.